Hey guys, welcome back to Wilderness Springs. We are doing more deleting. Say your final piece to Timberwolf, my horribly designed wooden coaster that we will probably not remember for very long. But no, I thought that, when we're doing this whole kind of Wilderness Springs revamp, coming in, trying to think of better layout, better guest flow, better design, I thought that one of the first things we needed to do was probably go back and try to design a better wooden coaster, maybe down the line, not right now, but definitely just got rid of Timberwolf. It really was kind of like a very, very early on kind of crude, almost rushed coaster that I did, back when we kind of were essentially rushing all of Wilderness Springs. And not only, I think it's going to help now that Timberwolf is gone with bringing back the Phantom Manor over to its own island. So essentially, Phantom Manor and its show building, you can kind of see we're deleting behind the stage right now where it's going to sit, is being brought over into the actual Grizzly Gulch area. Because remember, the whole story was that mansion, that manor, was essentially the owner of the mine, the owner of Grizzly Mine here. And it never really made a lot of like cohesive sense to have the manor way over kind of over near Rambuck, which we deleted as well. I mean, shout out to Silverette. That's an awesome little coaster, but I kind of used it a little selfishly. It's kind of like a filler coaster when I was just trying to end that series before we moved on to the beach project. So I really, really appreciate Sylv putting those coasters on the workshop. But as far as Wilderness Springs news story goes, and plus we've got Jan building me a large wing coaster that's going to go over there to the back of the park, removing Rambuck and bringing the Phantom Manor over into its proper land on this island, I think just made the most sense. And when we get into the real time, we'll talk about it a little more and how we're going to lay it out. But a lot of people asked, is it going to be a real dark ride? No, it's still just going to be, like a facade, like an implied ride. But, somebody told me on Instagram that maybe like as a side project, he said like, well, if you're bored, why don't you just go on a blank map and build Phantom Manor's dark ride just on its own map one day. And then, at least there would be a little backstory to the ride, even if it's not physically in Wilderness Springs. People could still go to that POV and be like, okay, this is what you would see inside that ride. And I think that could be a pretty neat idea. Totally got rid of the second station with the train. I think it's going to be more kind of like Dollywood, where there is only one station and it's essentially not a transport ride, but an actual ride. It takes you around the entire furthest outskirts of the park. And so forget the other station or any of that stuff. It is just going to be one long train ride. And there is so much more I think we can pull out of this now. And, a lot of what you see me deleting kind of above you right now with Rambuck and moving the train line is to make way for Jan's wing coaster. And he said he's going to build it for me. Shout out to Jan as well. Insanely creative console player, if you can believe that. The stuff he's doing, like almost like you want to say where he's limited to the console, like can't even get in here like with a keyboard and mouse like we can, is just insane what he's able to do. And he actually is responsible for Barnstormer. Didn't actually build it for this park, but I saw it on the workshop and thought it fit perfect where Fire Chaser Express was. And then, I kind of hit him up and said, hey, would you want to do another one for me? Like actually, like, specifically for Wilderness Springs. And he was gracious enough to give up some of his time. And he's been going back and forth and working on that for me. He sent me a little clip a little while ago of it, of the supported version of what he's doing over here. And I think you guys it's going to be really exciting and just a very awesome addition, not only to Wilderness Springs, but Wilderness Springs sight lines and the backdrop of the park. You know, it's like this big giant wing coaster is really going to have a cool moment over here by the cliffside. And, you know, you will be able to see it when we get done with it. He's going to let me theme it. But he said, when we get done with this, you should be able to see parts of it from the entrance of the park. That's how large it'll kind of loom over there on that cliff line. And right here, this is me kind of just what I said, bringing the mansion over onto its own island. And like we said, encompassing it into the actual Grizzly Gulch story. And I just think this is going to be so cool. So like right when you come in the land, you know, you've got this really awesome shot of the mine train's first drop. And then as you kind of weave your way through the land, you get to the back of the land, and that is where you're greeted by the Phantom Manor. Like the owner of the mine is over in the land now, and he's like keeping a watch over the mine. So that is, I just think it's going to work out so much better. Change the color of the asphalt over in the Country Fair area. I just really like this, really like tan, almost reddish path work. I think it just looked better. Doesn't look so parking lot-ish with it not being gray anymore. So I think that just kind of blends in with our whole feel over here a lot better. Kept Wilderness Stage. It's safe for now. Still kind of just doing some tinkering around and deleting and cleaning up. But I need to get that World Wildlife Foundation UK stream in. So I think what we may do is I might do my first stream for them that we're raising money for the WWF UK. I might stream this Wednesday night. What would you guys think about like this coming up Wednesday, the 19th? So that's the night before the Western Pack comes out. I was thinking about getting in here and maybe streaming Wednesday evening for you guys, maybe around like 6:30 Eastern time, and just jump in and we'll work on the railroad, and we'll maybe mess around with the Phantom Manor's little entrance area now, because there's going to be a lot of rock work. We got to do a bridge going over the creek. So yeah, there's a lot of little tinkering work we can still mess with, and now that we've opened up so much more of the park to start really like getting some ideas going. But anyways, let's jump over into the real time, and I'll show you guys kind of how everything sits right now as of March 16th, and kind of what we plan on doing now that a bunch of stuff has been deleted and moved on you. So hold on one sec and we'll flip over to the real time. All right, guys, here is your latest look at Wilderness Springs. This is kind of how it sits as of Sunday, and you can see we have totally reopened up this back of the park for development. And remember, Jan's wing coaster is kind of going to go out here, kind of towards this edge. But this is what I really kind of wanted to show you here. Like when you're coming down, okay, well, actually, we'll just start from the beginning here. So this is your Grizzly Gulch area. So this kind of sits right off your main entrance. This is where, you know, you kind of like its entrance portal. Oh, we just missed it. And when you come in, this is your Grizzly Mine, kind of like the areas, like the one of two of the area's main attractions for right now. And I was thinking about doing either maybe a restaurant here or some kind of drop tower. You've got Barnstormer here in the background. Looks really awesome. Very Dollywood-esque coming through here, particularly with, you know, kind of being surrounded on both sides by coasters and just that kinetic energy. When you're making your way down through here, we've got Haribo's Salon. Salon. Yeah, go get our hair done. His saloon, and then you can peel off to the right and go back to Country Fair, or you can go off to the left, kind of follow by the mine's track over here. But here's what I was talking about. I think would be cool for the story. When you come around this corner, you know, you're eventually going to have the manor kind of imposing. Like, see how I kind of I pulled the terrain up a little bit, kind of lifted it even higher. So when you're coming through here, I wanted the manor to look like really, really imposing. And yeah, this is, this will all back here will be the fake backstage area. But yes, so when you're looking at it like from, from the story standpoint, the manor and the owner are looking over the mine now in Grizzly Gulch. Because remember, right here, this is where you're going to exit the land and kind of make your way out into, whatever we decide to do out there. So that was really my whole thinking of this area. It is essentially what used to sit the Timberwolf. This is going to be the new Phantom Manor area. And I think it's going to be really cool. I think what I want to do is have the bridge kind of come over here, like you're going to cross over onto the area from a bridge here, and then really like just do some heavy theming and some foliage work all on the front side of the island. And then too, you've got like we talked about, the kinetic energy of seeing the train go by in the background, kind of like while you're over here or you're making your way to the queue. But yes, this is, I think it's just but it's just going to be such a better idea now to incorporate the two main rides of Grizzly Gulch in the same land. So the, Grizzly Gulch kind of does a wishbone almost. It like comes out here and then to the edge, kind of does that kind of number. Obviously with the mine train being the main attraction, but that's just like for the cohesiveness and the storytelling, having the manor over here in the land now, I think that's just going to be killer. Once I get it done and once we get it kind of laid out how I want. But yeah, of course too, we'll continue working on building up the railroad track, get some of these trees deleted, and that will be on the absolute outskirts of the park. And the train will give you a really good view of all of the park areas. Because remember, it actually cuts through right here, kind of behind Main Street. Between Main Street and Barnstormer, it cuts through, kind of brings you around here, gives you a really good look at Country Fair, Jamboree. Still left these three rides. I think they look good. They look cool. And I left the train's tunnel, because every train has to have a tunnel. You got to have a tunnel going through it. So that is really the only remnant left of Timberwolf. And even this little pocket over here could work one day as a wooden coaster area. Or like I was even thinking about, what if an element actually goes under the train tracks and back over, and kind of swoops back over this way, and this whole little area is some kind of wooden coaster someday directly behind the Waffle House. But yeah, if you guys are new, I'm sure you're probably wondering what all this crap is behind here. But Wilderness Springs, just to give a very quick recap, it's like a double resort. It offers a water park and a lodge on this side of the highway. Think of it as like very Pigeon Forge-ish, like we've got, the split 4-lane out here, and then on each side of the highway are the Wilderness Springs properties. So you've got the water park, theme park, lodge. This is the Great Falls Lodge, where most people stay, and then you have actually very good timing. We've got the monorail coming that takes you from the lodge over to the theme park, or the theme park back to the lodge and the water park respectively. And yeah, so that was kind of the idea, to have an all-inclusive, combined resort with water park on one side, theme park on the other. And it's really kind of, it's made me just I want to do this like on, I almost want to do this like on every build now. Now, of course, you know, there are going to be times where I'm going to, you know, I'm obviously going to want to do one or the other just to kind of flesh out larger ideas. You know, if we just, you know, if like we do one huge theme park one day, you know, on a separate map. But, you know, I think it's cool that this idea, we know it's possible now. You can split up and make look really, really cool. The kind of like your double team, your tandem park idea with a lodge in the middle of it. So yeah, this is like your main little spring area right when you come in. Here's the entrance area where you get your tickets and scan in. And then kind of in you're in the thick of it once you're right here. And then over here, like I said, across the highway, you've got your water park entrance. And we've got trams and buses running. You know, one thing I need to do, a lot of you guys keep asking me about, is we need to actually probably look at getting the buses actually functioning. Because, you know, if we could put a little bus stop right here, people would get on this and they would ride them over to the theme park, you know, like how we originally intended. We just kind of haven't set it up or, you know, hooked them up yet, but this is kind of like your little main entrance area that lets you in, that brings you into the water park. And then some of you guys were saying maybe I might push back one level of these chairs and maybe do like some kind of little splash pad here, just to kind of have a reason for so many chairs to be right there. And this is, you are in the heart of the water park right here. And of course you've got water park side and theme park side rooms. We've got all kinds of slides, pools, monorail station. And then, of course, over here are your theme park facing rooms. We've got all kinds of little rinky-dink stuff out here. We've got a little Weigel's gas station, little drive-through coffee. We've got a Waffle House. Over here, this is Willow Grove. This is like a private event hotel area for Wilderness Springs guests. So, like we mentioned, this kind of gets you out of the hustle and bustle of the resort, you know, where things would be absolutely crazy and thousands of people. Over here is a little more intimate, and we've got, actually, we even have a wedding venue over here. Kind of get that in the daylight for you. So yeah, all kinds of events can be held over here in the smaller hotel. It has its own little pool, and it sits right on the far outskirts of Wilderness Springs. But isn't that cool, like how much space we have now? Let's see how far I can go out and kind of turn around. I love this shot right here because it just kind of, it really shows the massiveness of the resort. I love this early morning shot, the way the light does. Would love to see this resort in the snow one day. I keep mentioning it to Frontier, like every couple of weeks I'll tweet it out, like, please get us snow like in Planet Zoo. So yeah, this is what we've got going on right now, guys. So the biggest thing, just one more little recap. Timberwolf is gone. Rambuck is gone. All of the old Phantom Manor area is gone. Railroad has been reworked, and Phantom Manor has been relocated to its own little area that is going to be housed in the actual Grizzly Gulch area. So that is how the park looks. And, you know, before we do all that, I might go ahead and get this updated again. So if you have it on your workshop, it's a bit, I'm so fortunate that this thing has stayed at the top of the workshop. For better or worse, there are some people that argue that, you know, they should switch those out, you know, just so more people get exposure, and they shouldn't leave the same ones at the top. the whole time. So I'm good either way. This like over 30,000 of you guys have downloaded this, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, this is I'll go ahead and get this on there and get it updated if you've already have it downloaded, and this will bring you to the March 16th edition version. So yeah, you guys have to let me know what you think about this. I know you guys are going to like this a lot better now that it's all kind of over here in the same area, same story. And we still have a lot more we can develop now and do it right this time. You know, not, like I said, no rushing, no, you know, really no launch incentive to get out as many videos as you can. I'm just back to having fun again. And it's just, it's so cool that so many of you are coming back and hanging out and, you know, consuming the content. But, anyways, guys, yeah, that is your Sunday update from Wilderness Springs. Don't forget, we probably will try to go live on Wednesday, the 19th. And, yeah, just let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.